Miss Nomsa here at Gossip Talk Shows, Find Your Own Voice, Lead From Within. So with me today, I'm with Carol Ann Cooper and Shireen Love Groves. How are you guys, ladies?
Well, thank
Good, thank you, Domsa.
And your voice seems to have gone a bit quiet. You were quite loud when we were talking just now.
Because the mic is facing the other way.
That's better.
That damn mic.
Yeah, the mic is facing somewhere else.
Yeah. Oh, that's much better. So
Okay.
yeah, I can hear you more
Okay,
clearly.
so what have you guys been up to? We've been talking about football.
Yes, we've been enjoying
watching them.
that. Watching
Yeah.
and betting and feeling confident and hopefully
Excited when England win.
Whatever happens, England have done well. I'm very proud of them.
I'm really pleased.
Yeah, I'm very proud of them. I'm cheering them up, whatever, even if they're not gonna come home.
Well, when was the last time? 1966, was it? I think
I can't remember.
I think it was the last. It's never been in my lifetime, I don't think.
I remember
them. It's been
in my lifetime. I can remember.
It's in my lifetime that they won.
Not in my lifetime
close
either.
A few times, I think, but generally there's been years or times when it's been like, oh, they're out, it's like, but no, I have known them win. That was amazing.
I hope is coming home.
I hope so. I hope so.
It's coming home.
Yeah.
Like being aligned is coming home.
Yes.
Right?
Coming home.
Yeah. You're not getting burnt out?
No.
When you're aligned, you don't get burnt out.
Okay, let's go into Carol Ann's topic. You are not burnt out, you are misaligned. That's the topic. So have you ever felt tired even after resting? You sleep, take time off, cancel plans and try to slow down, but the exhaustion remains. You may have started telling yourself that you are burnt out, lazy, unmotivated, or simply unable to cope with life. But what if your tiredness is not only coming from doing too much? What if exhausted because you have been living out of alignment with who you truly are? Sometimes we become tired because we are working hard in places where we no longer belong. We keep saying yes when your spirit says no. We continue our relationships, careers, responsibilities, routine that are draining us because we are afraid to disappoint people or make changes. So, Carol Ann, you chose this topic. What was on your mind when you chose this topic?
What was on my mind? What prompted it? It's that following on, because as I said last week,
you chose the topic last week, did you?
We explored the idea that confidence isn't something we wait for; it's something we build. Remember, it's having evidence. That is how we get confidence. That was the topic from last week.
Yeah.
And confidence is something you build through small promises that you make to yourself and you keep. And each small action becoming evidence that we can trust ourselves. So that's what we were talking about last week. And it's about, if you've been perhaps reflecting on this, you might have noticed something else. Sometimes we know what matters. Sometimes we even have confidence to act, and yet we still feel exhausted. We still feel drained. We still wake up as though we're constantly swimming against the current. And our first thought is often, I must be burnt out. Sometimes that's true. But what I'd like you to consider today is another possibility. What if exhaustion isn't simply coming from doing too much? What if it's coming from repeatedly doing things that no longer feel aligned with who you've become? And when I read that and realized that, it's like, oh, there's something that resonates true for me here. Because there's the difference between being physically tired and being emotionally or spiritually out of alignment. So that's what we're going to explore today. what alignment really means, and how recognizing misalignment may be one of the most important steps towards creating a life that feels lighter, calmer, and more authentic. So alignment, when you hear that word, what does it mean to you? Have you ever felt exhausted even after doing very little? And what's the difference between being tired and feeling drained? So this is where we're sort of going to explore. Alignment creates energy, misalignment drains, so quietly drains energy. It does it quite surreptitiously without you realizing. And as I said, I'm starting to think, oh, it's given me something else to think about, and realize why I'm tired, even though that the heat hasn't helped, but it's ringing true for other things as well. Yeah. So what were your thoughts, Shireen?
Yes, it's something we don't think about, but if we really, I suppose when I looked at the topic, and I love the topic, and I've experienced feeling that absolute fatigue, and yet I've not done very much, right? And I suppose as a person that used, as an ex-nurse, people with that have ME or fibro or any of those kinds of energy illnesses, a lot of it is because of stress, right? And what is it that causes the stress? Right. Stress is the situation that happens as a result of us not being in alignment with what we want, because there's so many reasons we get stressed. Right. So I started to think more around that, and I was thinking about, well, when we're aligned, as you were saying, Carol Ann, we're not going against the current, right?
Yeah.
We're going with the flow. And flow means that we don't need to use a lot of energy.
Yeah.
But if we're not going with the flow, we're out of alignment, we are going to use more energy for everything that we do. So it's not just the fact that we're making a cup of tea, but actually we're making a cup of tea with a lead weight as well, right? So we're now trying to carry whatever it is that's resisting, and we're trying to make this tea, right? And so we're needing to use more energy to be able to do that one simple task. So it's really, so if we're in alignment, then doing the task is going to be effortless and easy. So maximum result for the least amount of effort. But the thing is really understanding that resistance that sits there when we're out of alignment is what makes us get incredibly tired. And I mean, recently early on this year, I was out of alignment because I kept feeling tired. Even going up a hill, I was feeling tired. And I would think to myself, but why? I know I'm a little bit unfit, but I'm not this unfit. What is going on? And I could feel in my body, my energy wasn't right. And so I was working harder. And of course, that meant it took me longer to recover. So there's something, and then when you recover, you can't replenish enough. And so that's why we feel that immense, deep, deep, deep fatigue when we're out of misalignment, because everything we do keeps impacting, so that the scales towards the heaviness or the fatigue starts to swing more and more in favor of making us stay what we call entropy. We burning up more of ourselves rather than negentropy, which is when we're in flow. So entropy is all life is starting to burn. We burn all the time. And we're, as this thing is, as we get older, we're starting to burn even brighter, and we move. And so our light starts to shift and change, and our energy changes. So that is called entropy. But when we want to try and stay younger, and we want to be in, and when we're in flow, we're actually in a state called negantropy. And that is where we're not using that much energy in order to do all tasks. So so that was really what was sitting there in that aligned state for me. It was more about the energetic load that we've got to carry and the energetic load that we perhaps don't have to carry if we realize how to get ourselves back into alignment, how to get into the flow, how to move beyond the resistance, right? Use the resistance to catapult us into the new learning, the new state, the new being that we want to be. That's where I went. What's your thoughts, Nomsa?
Okay, Sharon. I like the way you talk about what's those two words you've used?
Entropy.
Entropy.
So as we grow, we're burning more and more. It's almost like we're
Can you write it
moving
in
in the
like
chat.
video description? You can write in the chat and then I'll put it on the video description, please.
All right.
So
Okay.
people can have it because it's very interesting.
I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And I like also the way Carol Anna said, what if the exhaustion comes from something you are doing that is no longer aligned? I think people, the mindset never really go that far where they say that, oh, okay, this thing that I'm doing is no longer aligned anymore, but maybe that's what is causing exhaustion. So most people keep blaming themselves that, oh, I'm burnout, I'm lazy, or I'm feeling lazy, or they just crucify themselves a lot. For me, I think I've stopped doing the things that I don't like to do and the things that misalign with what I'm doing. So I stopped doing that. I don't lie to myself. If I feel that I'm doing something that is misaligned, I just give it up. And also, Sharon, I like the way you spoke about energetic load that we have to carry. I think that is really, really, really important. And I think people need to stop calling themselves lazy, because when you're constantly exhausted or struggling to stay motivated, it's easy to label yourself, which Carol Annie does not like it, guys. When you are making yourself wrong as lazy. However, what looks like lazy may actually be emotionally exhausting, or it could be misaligned, like Carol Ann said, or it could be disappointed and overwhelmed, or disconnection from what you are doing. Your body may be resisting a lifestyle that no longer feels meaningful or healthy to its body, to you. Instead of criticizing yourself, become curious about exhaustion. Ask yourself, what tiredness may be trying to communicate with me? And self-judgment will not restore your energy. Honestly, self-awareness will. And what I've realized actually with self-judgment, it destroys the alignment between you and God, and the alignment between you and the universe. Whatever high power you call it, me, I call it Jesus, God. So when you constantly speak negative or think negative, it just causes misalignment. So the words that we speak become things, our thoughts become reality. So I think Carol Ann, with her topic, she's actually giving us food for thoughts.
Thank you. I like what you're saying. When you're doing something that you feel is misaligned, you stop. But it's that feeling, so that you're obviously aware of that something in you that is feeling misaligned. And for some people, they may not feel that misalignment. There's something else that they need to realize will be a signal for them. And some of the signs are where you're constantly ignoring your own needs. So something that you can actually become aware of. Feeling resentment. When you're doing something, is there some resentment there? Because if there's resentment, that's a sign of misalignment. And Are you always saying yes when you mean no? Again, recognize and listen to yourself. Is there a feeling of disconnect from what you're doing or from your work? Because again, that's another sign of misalignment. Have you lost enthusiasm? You know, before you were totally enthusiastic, and now there's like, oh, no, something has shifted. It is out of alignment. So these are all little signals and signs of misalignment. And maybe you feel like you're living on autopilot. It's just like you're just going through the motions. And the thing is, with all of those signs, they just become, I want to say natural, but it's more a case of you get used to them. What I'm suggesting here is that you wake up to them, you become aware of them and go, oh, yeah, this is happening. I do feel disconnected from what I'm doing. Oh gosh, yeah, I am. There is resentment here. And now let's start thinking about, well, where you misaligned. And alignment actually refers to harmony between your internal values and your external reality. There's something that isn't matching up. And it's the match between who you are and what you do daily. So this is what we mean by alignment. So exhaustion, you imagine if you're misaligned just slightly, there's something, just as that tension going on inside that creates stress, and it can be small. It's still creating that stress. So do recognize the signs, and there are probably other signs as well. It's recognizing, so asking yourself, well, what other signs are telling me that I am no longer aligned? Because there could be, that's just a few. There's probably a whole plethora of signs. And maybe Nomsa and Shireen have got a few other signs that they could add to it. But really, it's for you to actually get to recognize any sign that is yours, something you're hearing in your head, something you're feeling in your body, or something you're seeing in some way that just doesn't feel as you would want it to be. And ask yourself, what signs? Is this a sign I'm not aligned? And what is out of alignment? Oh, yeah, alignment and misalignment. Because it is, as you say, you're in flow and you notice things just, like the other day, and I was just, everything just flowed. It's like I came out, I caught a bus. I just happened to be talking to somebody on the bus. I decided to get off at a different stop than I normally did because I was a bit early. And as I was coming back down to where I was going, this lady came up to me and said, oh, do you know where such and such is? And I went, oh, yeah, it's just down this way. And I was able to lead her. Whereas if I'd got off where I normally get off, I wouldn't have met up with her because I'd have been walking in a different direction. And it's like there's some flow that just happens. It's absolutely amazing. So clearly there was an alignment there. And when things don't go quite your way, stop.
Yeah, probably I could have organized or said a better word on one level, is that when we're not in flow, we're in chaos, right? Basically, that is really what it is. I suppose when we think about entropy, is that we're moving, if we're not in flow, we're moving more and more and more towards chaos, right? Which is the final breakdown of things. All living things break down eventually. And that is just basically part of chaos theory. So when we are in flow, there's no disorganization. We're basically slowing down the chaos. in a way, if I like to think of it in the sense of how when you're making something like baking a cake, or you're doing something and you're doing it really, really effortlessly and easily, and everything is blending together and you get this beautiful cake, you've created something that is a creation, that is not chaos, right? It's formed, it's fixed, it's there, it's in its perfection. But as time goes by, perfection starts to change. The moment you cut that cake, now it's no longer in that state of perfection, although it's still tasty, it's still nice. But as we move and you leave it, it gets drier, it gets stale, it gets all of those things. So we're thinking about generally the idea that when we are in that place of misalignment, we are constantly in a state of chaos. And then it gets a bit of a challenge to bring ourselves back into alignment, back into the place where we're no longer in chaos, right? So it is more helpful if we have the capacity to notice those tiny moments when chaos is starting to happen. Right. So when are we waking up in the morning and we're feeling a little bit misaligned? What can we do to bring ourselves into alignment in that moment, right? Maybe it's about just lying there in bed and just saying a couple of prayers. It may be just doing those nice deep breaths. It may just be a way to just bring your energy so that we're holding the state of chaos. We're bringing it so that it can start to find a way, because our body tries to reset itself in its own way. Always. It's always trying to go to homeostasis. It's us that keeps putting it out, right? So if we keep bringing ourselves back into homeostasis, we reduce chaos. And that means we're able to decrease in entropy to the extent, and we're able to begin a process of living longer, for example, right? Of being able to be healthier, less prone to diseases, all of these things which are very, very important. And at least then we have a lot of energy to do the things that we truly want to do. So yeah, those are the things that, so when you are in flow, and I love that you said, everything just happened, right? I got on the bus, the bus arrived, right? There was no hurrying for the bus. You kind of you controlled the chaos, you controlled the entropy and the energy by going, today's a good day. Even just in the words of what you were saying in that moment would still the chaos, right? And with that, a whole lot of energy comes together in order to work for you rather than against you. And all of a sudden, your body starts to see the openings that you wouldn't have seen anyway, which means that you move towards flow, because now you're choosing to go in that way rather than going into the chaos, right? And sometimes going into the chaos is okay, as long as you have sufficient resources within you to come back into balance, come back into flow, come back into the place where you can regenerate yourself. And one good way, I guess, is in the evening before you go to bed, is to also set up a routine that allows you to have a really good night's sleep, so that when you wake up in the morning, you're more likely to feel rested, but you're also more likely to not go into chaos as you step out of bed. So these are little things. I always try before I get out of bed is to just take a few nice deep breaths and set my day up. Because even though things are going to come at me during the day, if I'm in a place where I've actually started the day well, I don't get phased. I stay in flow and things sort themselves out a lot easier. So yeah, my energy has absolutely increased a lot since I realized it was a misalignment and started to bring my body into alignment, right? And Namsa, you did something amazing by doing your fasting, right? Because fasting means that we're not burning a lot of energy for just everyday functioning, but it means that we can cleanse ourselves and be able to get rid of the stuff that's holding the energy, so that our energy can be free, so that we can burn more efficiently. So the whole thing of living well is burning energy efficiently. And we just need to understand what is burning energy, right? How do we burn it? That it's clean fuel rather than nice, smoky. You know, when you have a car that just burn in the exhaust and you just see smoke, that's not burning efficiently. That car's not going to go smooth.
Not going to smell good either.
No. Right.
I like the way you said, Cherie, Carol Ann, that wake up to your misalignment. Sleepy, sleepy misalignment. It's not easy to wake up into your misalignment. I think the awareness is really, really important. And like I said to you guys, without blaming yourself or condemning yourself, I think is really, really important. And also, I like you, Shireen, when you said reducing chaos. It's okay to go to chaos, but to bring yourself back to balance your alignment back. Some people, they find it easy to get into the chaos, but it's hard to get out of it. So I think it's really, really important to actually know that your body is really, really important. To be aware of what is causing exhaustion, because sometimes people may say, oh, I'm exhausted because of this, because of this. Like when you notice where things are not misaligned, just bring yourself back to the balance. It's okay to go to chaos. It's okay things not to be misaligned. Like myself, I fasted for 40 days. But through that 40 days, I was evaluating, I was doing analytics for myself where my life is not aligned. And now that I'm out as well, I'm finished my 40 days. I'm still looking at the things where misalign. And now I'm thinking my business is not good. It's not where I needed to be. So now I'm putting things together so that things can get better. So I have had to sit down and the good thing about the Holy Spirit brings the information to you. Because your heart, that's why it says your heart has to be clean. So if your heart is in the right place, he is able to say, okay, this is what you need, and he will bring that information in front of you so that you can work on where things are not misaligned. For me, things are aligned, but the only thing that I didn't know is how to protect my business moving forward and how to manifesting. And when I'm manifesting, and I'm realize that because there was a warning that the Holy Spirit kept warning me, and I don't have a clue about some of these things in spiritually. So I came across with a message with that warning. What does it mean? So it means that I'm fasting and I'm cleansing, but I need to seal the things so that my business can move forward. So now I'm in the level of where I'm in the realm of the spirit is somewhere where I don't even know. So now the bad spirit can come in and actually cancel the blessings. When the blessings are coming in, they can cancel them straight away. But for me, I didn't know that I need to seal my prayers. And even people in church, instead of them teaching me, their pastors who knows how to do these things, they are complaining about, why are you fasting? Instead of saying, no, sir, can we teach you how to seal? So they are not teaching me those things. So one of the pastors was kind enough to teach me how to seal. It's like, you're doing the right thing, seal. Seal everything you do, wherever you go. When you ask you for blessings for your business, leave it sealed. So me, I'm thinking, why am I in stagnation? Why things are not working where I want to? Guys, I just want to be a billionaire, or I want to go up with you guys. But I was asking myself why things are not moving. They are moving, but not the way I want. So I was able to be corrected that, okay, I'm doing the right thing, but I'm not sealing things. I need to seal things to leave them sealed. So it's like, okay, so now I'm doing the right thing. Yeah, now I'm learning these things, and you see the beauty about it is, in course talk show is going to be when we go on this boot camp. If this thing works, we're just gonna teach them how to do wealth and stuff. It's just gonna be amazing. So now I'm learning now how to bring wealth, so which is good. But before I didn't know, because when you are doing these things, I was telling someone, she was asking me a questions. I was like, oh, Shireen is good. I was like, Carol Annie, she does write book writing, but she has not published. But Shireen is good. Have you published a book, Shireen?
2.
Yeah, you published books. So I was telling this girl that. So it's just having the information from people that have done things before. And me, see, I've done the fasting, but I've never done the sealing. So I've been told, no, no, sir, when you're fasting, people come in, they take what you are fasting that is coming in. So you need to seal it. And in my church, they know this very, very well, 1000%. But because they are focusing on protecting NOMSA, instead of focusing on bring the glory in the house, in our church, bring the glory. Teach me how to seal these things. So now I'm aligned now, guys, girls.
Great. Okay, you're aligned with that. Awesome.
I wasn't
So
aligned,
there's more
misaligned.
movement where there was stagnation. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because I feel that there was a stagnation. But when you are doing things, you're doing the right thing. But things are moving, but moving very slowly. When they move, it feels like the door is being shut again. So then now I was like, what's going on, God? And then now I found the information, and then this guy is giving information that no, you have to seal. So he's giving step by step what needs to be done. Because when you are in that level, people the spirit can just come in. When God puts blessings, they'll come in and take it away. They'll cancel it live. So me, I've spent 2 years in thinking, what's this canceling in the realm of the spirit? What did they were canceling my blessings. If I'm meant to go viral, they come in and cancel. If my video is meant to go viral, they come in and cancel it. So I was thinking, what the heck is going on? So now he was teaching me. So now I'm on the right path. I've got a tutor. So now I'm being taught, no, sir, you got to seal things. So everything that I do when I go to God, I pray, I seal. I used to seal it with the blood of Jesus. So he goes, no, the blood of Jesus, it can be removed. We can enter still. So you need to seal it like this. The covenant, whatever, if there's a legal right with the ancestors, which Carol Ann, you remember? I don't know whether God was teaching me something with you. You sat there and you went, is there anything in your ancestors? When I was talking about uni, that my certificate, and you said, is there anything in your ancestors that might be activating this? I'm thinking, Carol Ann, I have a problem, and you are telling me about ancestors. And guess what? The guy has come back. He said, if there's a legal right in your ancestors, we use the legal right. Exactly what you said. But for me, I couldn't understand what you were talking about.
I like, actually, that's a different aspect, I think, to what I was talking about, but it is to do with ancestors. But he's saying if there's a legal right there,
It's
then you go
exactly
in and
what
you
you
use
said.
that.
Yeah.
Whereas you perhaps have, that hasn't been used, something is blocked. But this, interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
interesting.
he said if
Mm.
there is a legal right, you need to close the legal right so they don't use the legal right. If
I
my
got you now.
family have
Yeah,
been in
so you close. I'm
poverty,
with you. Yeah, that's
if there was a
such a wording.
struggle, poverty in my family,
Mm,
so they'll come and challenge me. Who do you think you
yeah,
are, wanting to be different? So they
yes.
will use the legal right, whether is it my grandparents or my father, they will use even if I'm already sealed by the blood of Jesus. So they
Mm.
already enter using the legal right from my ancestors to cancel my blessings. So I could
Oh,
not
beautiful way
understand.
of putting it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So yes, it was again, it was another way of saying what I was
Yeah.
It's
talking
about
about.
closing the gate.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah,
closing the
but
gate.
looking to your ancestors for
You
what.
see, that's why I'm saying, if I
Mm,
was to sit down with, I think we need a day to sit down and talk about these things, to discuss, so we can get wealthy with the mind we have. Yeah. So yeah, so he
mm,
was teaching me that to close the gate, Nomsa,
yeah,
the legal right from your ancestors.
yeah,
I was
awesome.
like, but the good thing is I can go back and reverse and get it back what was cancelled.
Mhm. Whatever is due to you will, it's allowing, it's opening up those channels so it will come through, and it's
Mm.
whatever has been stopping it, it's getting in touch with that and releasing that, and healing that, because this misalignment it comes from old identities, who
Yeah.
you identify yourself as, inherited expectations, as you said, ancestral stuff that's coming down, fear of change, because things change and you go, oh, that, and you're sort of holding back, you're pulling yourself out of alignment. If you're someone who does people pleasing, or if something happens and you feel guilty, it's like you've taken on something and you're making yourself wrong. It's then looking at, well, what's this guilt about, and realizing you're out of alignment with something. And there's also that trying to be who you think others want you to be. So there's that tussle, there's that tying, you're not being true to yourself in lots of ways. So that's where misalignment comes. And I like this phrase. It says, sometimes we outgrow roles long before we give ourselves permission to leave them.
Yeah.
And I've realized that in looking at this, where I'm out of alignment, I've been asking for so long now, a few years, why writing? And then the other day, I'm sort of realizing, I went back to when I first started training in educational kinesiology and then all the other fields, and left teaching. What I'd set out and what I realized I wanted to do was to be able to help people move through stuckness. Wherever they're stuck, I realized that was, I could help them move. But somehow I couldn't explain that. And somehow it just felt too global. And I kept hearing, oh, what do you mean? What do you mean? And who specifically are you helping? And so I found myself now in this tight niche of writing, of helping them move their words out. And it's through my own journey of unlocking the writer within, of unlocking my own words and being guided to write a book. And I've realized, and I've said it quite a few years ago, but again, I've lost touch with that and I don't say it. It's a healing journey. And this is what my work is about with writing. It's the healing journey that you go on when you go to write something, or you unlock that writer within at a deeper level. You may be someone who enjoys writing, and there's a deeper level to which you can go. because I worked with some writers in that capacity. But it's, you know, that you were saying, Nomsa, have I written a book? I have published in some community book projects. So I am a published author in that respect. In terms of publishing my own, I'm still on the journey. And even now, even though I declared I want to get my book written and I set a date, I've shifted that, and I'm going to do that next year. But I'm still going to work towards this date. I'm going to do my journals instead. I've got everything ready. I could just take the steps and actually focus on getting them published, but put little snippets of my story in the beginning of those 4-word mastery journals that give little snippets of my story around words and where I've unlocked words within myself, why they were, I didn't have access to them, why I struggled, you know, with words. And also another little ebook which will introduce my main book, two books actually, is just why writing, and literally right from there. There's some things that have come up, and just maybe a small book which is a little bit about my journey around writing and why writing. And even the other day in a process, a message came through which is like, writing is the key. I'm going, okay. So it's just continuing, and I'm finding that I have gone deeper and deeper into even beneath the identity to what stops us being able to be in alignment, what pulls us out of alignment, and going to that depth. I realize that I'm still healing that, and at some point I will be able to speak about it, because I've been stopped. And even though I know people that they train in something, and all of a sudden they're out there talking about it, and I'm going, why can't I be able to do that? You know, I'm on the journey that I'm on, and it's through this drive to unlock the writer within. Because I had a reflexology session yesterday, and at the beginning of it was that song, Where Is the Love? And that's what was I could feel was going through me. Where is the love? And it was, where's the love of writing? And I got very relaxed in there and went somewhere that I felt I've never been before. At the end of it, I went, oh, I've never been here before. And it was like, I got quite tearful because it's like, here is the love. And I feel that something is now opening up as a possibility for me to find the love of writing, to find love in some way. It's all around love, but certainly the love of writing. And I know that's been a question in my head for quite a few years, because when I heard somebody, you know, a few people say, oh, I really love writing. And I'm going, but I don't. And I thought, that's what I want. I want to find the love of writing as much as I love maths. It's like, yes. And even last week,
I think, Carol Annie, do you know why you don't love writing?
No, that's what I'm still.
Perfect. The word has to be perfect. The words.
No, it's not even that.
Really?
I'll at some point I will get it out, be able to get that out. But even last week, in answer to some questions, doing on a Hillingdon Chamber of Commerce workshop in the morning, and the lady was talking about, you know, identify, you know, what energizes you and what drains you. And I literally put dancing for energizing, and I literally put writing under drains me, and I went, oh my God. So that's unconsciously. So I'm just working through that. But yeah, so I support people with moving through blocks, through writing, through unlocking that writing, because it's amazing what comes up, because I play around with metaphor, with words, and shift words. So I'm slowly getting, yes, there's been a huge misalignment, because I've shifted out of something into something else. There's been change which I've resisted, and realized there's still a place for parts of who I was in who I am becoming. And there's parts that I need to let go of because they play no part here. And it's recognizing which is which and getting clarity, and then finding the words that will explain that other people can then understand. So it's all a journey. It's just an amazing adventure, and it's just coming back to I love adventures, and we keep remembering that and going, okay, so what's the adventure here? What stops you enjoying this adventure? What can you bring into it, to really enjoy it and get curious, because curiosity is another of my key values. So am I stop being curious again? So yeah, so go back to your values. What are your top 3 or 5 values, and are they still there? So that's where I think I shall start looking at. But one day I'll be able to explain to you, Non, so you'll get it, what it is when I really got it myself.
I actually love writing.
You do?
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. Yeah.
I wrote my book
Mm-hmm.
and contacted the publishers, my biography.
Yeah.
And after that, I burned it.
You burnt it?
Yep.
Because?
I did the process, that the whole thing that needs to be done, everything that needs to be done, the process of publishing. And the book was amazing. Hoppus Dead, actually, that's where he learned the whole of my family history, my family's names, and everybody, my uncles, my aunties. That's where he learned from my book.
Yeah.
Then when I started praying, I realized that I love my daddy too much. I did not want to publish the book. And I just banned it. But I'm going to rewrite. I think there was part of me, because my mom and my dad divorced. I think there was part of me that wanted to get it out. So when I got it out, I realized I needed to ban it and then go back and rewrite it again. So I banned it, and I banned the computer as well, that way I've written it.
You burnt the what?
Computer.
Banned the laptop.
Oh. So there's no trace of it whatsoever? No trace. It's not stored on anything, device anywhere?
No. Even where because you have to post it to yourself as well, the original copy. So I banned that original copy as well, and banned the laptop.
Wow.
And that was it. I felt good, actually. After that, I felt so good and relieved. It was like, this feels so good.
Yeah.
Honest, I don't know if anyone has ever tried when you go through something. Because when I was writing it, I just realized that actually, because I was very close to my dad. But then I'd written a story about my stepmom. And then I realized that my stepmom represents my dad. So I think that story wasn't sitting in my heart properly.
Right.
So I banned that laptop and everything. But it felt good after.
Good. Yeah. And sometimes books aren't meant to be out there.
Yeah.
It is
for
that
ourselves.
healing journey. They're cleansing. Exactly. And then
when I wrote my book, and I mean, the first one was a self-help, but the second book, in a way, was a self-help, but it was my journey and my darkness, my soul, whatever was going on. But I made the commitment when I did it that what was the purpose of writing this book?
Yeah.
Right. So it was, I wanted to bear whatever it was, and I also wanted to be witness to what it was. And I also wanted to show that we can move beyond it, right? So because a lot of the time we don't get to see, see people ranting and raving, but they don't talk about what happens next, right? And what do
Yeah.
they learn from the experience? What do they do now when someone's in that kind of situation? So these are the kinds of things. So I realized the reason it had to be as it was because as I call myself a teacher. I'm here to teach.
Mm,
I'm not here to mess around. I'm telling you what you need to
yeah.
know. And so, therefore, for me, it was about making sure that one, I was honest with what I was saying, right? And I could hold it because it was my truth, right? Nobody else's truth. It was my truth and my truth alone.
Mm,
But it allowed me to say things that a lot of people probably were thinking and have had the same experiences that they would experience, right?
mm,
And, I don't, and so that they know that they're not going mad,
yes.
and at the same time, that there is healing. Healing can take place,
Mm,
healing can shift.
yeah.
We can reevaluate, we can look, and how that works for me as a therapist. So I was able to bring all of those things, but I needed to be very clear what was the purpose. What
Yeah.
was the purpose
Yeah.
for me for writing this book? And I'm
Mm,
guessing for me, I mean, there's something that I suppose, Carol Ann, when I was thinking about you talking about, I have this love. Where's the heart? Where's the love? For the love for math, right? And I bet that was something that you had when you were little, right? So there was a flow.
mm, mm,
You genetically were programmed anyway, because that was probably a natural bent that you had, a natural gift that you had to see the world in a particular way. And maybe it was that there was, because of the way with maths is not as free flow in the same way of cursive, right?
mm,
So that makes it really difficult to move and to change the gate, or maybe to create a different path. So I was thinking, how do we love something that we don't really like to do? Right? How do we love it? And what do we might need to do so that it becomes a flow, right?
mm.
Because love gives us flow.
Ah, yes.
So love is flow.
Yes. Yeah.
That's it. So what can we love in this what I'm writing right now? What can I love about it? What is it going to bring to the world?
Mm,
What is this gift going to do for
yeah.
someone, or gift not necessarily for you, but it's more about what it's going to do for someone else.
Mm. I
Can I
know
let this love
it's
flow?
it's also for me, it's actually the love of writing. Yes, I love the idea of sharing my knowledge, my wisdom
Yeah.
and other people and educating, because yes, I am an educator. It's the actual physical act of writing and getting my words and my explanation out, connecting that. That's where I am playing, moving words around, finding the right words to say what I feel or I see.
Mm.
Um, whereas numbers just cooperated. And I've actually realized it wasn't more, it was in my DNA. It was down to how my brain had been
Mm.
wired up when I was born because of my forceps delivery. And so my language centers had got
Squashed.
squashed, disconnected, you know,
Well, not disconnected. They would
but
have been squashed.
they weren't connected.
Yeah.
That's what I got through all the processing that I've done, that they weren't
Mm.
connected.
Mm.
Because once they were connected, I stopped saying, it's like words go into this void, never to be seen.
Wow.
Yeah. I always used to say that. And once I realized that my language centers had been
Mm.
connected through a couple of processes that I did, or several, but I've never said that again, because that's not why.
Mm.
Yeah. So
So did the words come out of the void?
they just were there anyway. They just found a way of coming out and flowing. It,
Mm.
yeah. I realized the words were there. I had this picture of this huge sort of library of words, and they were just floating around all over the place. And they just knew how to come together and how to form sentences and what to say. And that's all within me.
Mm.
There's an amazing vision. It's like, okay, so it's then allowing that to happen.
Mm.
What did your mom like Carol Ann to do?
My mom was very creative. She was a dancer, but she always was doing lots of different crafts and learning different. Yeah, she was very creative.
Your dad?
Um, my dad was very much on the science side. He was an engineer, but he was also very creative. That had been
So your
squashed
dad
with
is an
him.
engineer, is good in maths.
Oh, he taught me. I mean, yeah, he helped me with my maths. He would teach me maths before I learned it at school.
So what
Yeah.
the reason why I'm asking you is you cannot run from this one. You inherit your father's blood, and then you inherit your mother's spirit. Then when it comes to your creativity, your gift, you now have to ask God to help you to manifest your hidden gift, who Carol Ann is supposed to be. Yeah,
That's a nice request.
yeah. So you need to ask him because
Manifest my healing gift.
yeah, because even if you listen, Dr. Olukoya tells you that there are people who studied to be doctors, lawyers, and God never told them to do that. And when they finish studying, they don't use their degree because it's not their destiny. They want to do something else because it's not really what they're supposed to be. So he always teaching us to go to God. I used to be everywhere doing things that I'm not supposed to be doing. But since I listen to him, I always go to God and ask, what am I supposed to be? Show me what I'm supposed to be. So it always brings out the me, and that me people don't connect with it. People are complaining that, no, sir, who are you becoming? So, but I'm becoming me. This is who I used to be when I was a child. If you put me on stage, I'm happy. But if you give me maths, English, even though I like it, I will just let me do it my own time. But if you put me on stage, I leave people crying. So, so you need to find your identity. People waste so many time doing things that they're not supposed to be doing. Find your identity and God can reveal it to you. But I think it's you that I keep seeing this person and I'm like, who is this one? That is the flash. Who is the maths? Who is the identity of maths? Every time I pray, when I'm walking, I see the screen. I'm like, who is meant to be doing this? Who is not doing it? So I don't know. But the only screen, like I always see, is like the mess. I'm like, I don't think it is for me. I know it's not for me because I'm not that person. Me, psychology, talking professor, yeah, we are good. That's Nomsa's identity. And this thing, maths business, is not for me.
Interesting.
I have seen it myself and I'm thinking, like the flash when he's writing like this. Yeah, I have seen it so many times.
Wow.
And but your name keeps coming up. There's someone, one of the ancestors, but I chased them out. He keeps calling your name, Carol Ann. So I don't know what's the connection, but I know Hope likes maths. She's good in maths. Her dad is good in maths, but they are doing what they are doing things. But I don't know. You need to talk to him.
Yeah.
You have to find a quiet place and truly ask him and give him time to actually he might be the one that is telling me to do this because God is very wicked.
And yeah, I've been keep asking him and it's sort of things, answers
Asking
are
him.
coming. So it's yeah.
And
But
the
that's
other thing for you to do is, you see the mud outside?
the what?
The mud outside.
The
Mud. The soil.
Oh, the mud.
Oh, the
Sorry, I
mud.
couldn't
Mud.
quite process what you said.
You
Mud.
pick
Yeah, yeah.
up the soil, you pick up the soil,
Mm-hmm.
you speak to the soil because God is the earth. Earth is God. Ask
Okay.
the soil to release, because the earth can actually bind people. I'm going to send you the video. You go outside and
Yeah,
do
me
it.
too.
Yeah, I'll send you the video.
Yeah.
If you do that,
Okay.
I mean, I've been doing it. I think there's more than 10 of us that are doing it, because we realize that we are not doing what we are not where we're supposed to be. And there's bound. So we decided to do that. I send you the video instruction. Do it every day, even for 30 days and 40 days. If you do it properly, as following the instructions, you come back and tell me. And you'll be doing it at Ngozi Talk Shows Boot Camp. You will book people for 1 month until they become who they are meant to become.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. I'll send you guys the video.
Okay. That'll be great.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's
So
16 minutes past 2, guys.
Yes.
yeah, let's
Yes, we need to
round
go.
up. So I'd just like to leave with a question. What is one part of your life that feels heavy? Not because it's difficult, but because it's no longer aligned with who you are becoming. And I think that's a question to sit with. And yeah, I just also, over the past 11 weeks, we've explored awareness, patterns, truth, action, trust, and alignment. And next week, we bring the series together with one final question. What is the real cost of not choosing yourself? So what would you like to leave our listeners with, Shireen?
Amazing. I told you, Kiro Ann is on fire.
I think it would really just, if you've learned 2 words, entropy and negantropy, really realize that we increase our capacity to live longer when we make sure we are utilizing entropy in the correct way, because entropy actually is meaning natural order of chaos. So how do we reduce chaos? How do we go into negantropy? How do we negatively affect entropy? So there we are. That's something, a new word for all of you, and it's a rather exciting word. So when you're in flow, you are in negantropy.
Awesome, awesome. For me, guys, I leave you with, give yourself permission to change direction. Change your mind. Changing your mind does not always mean you are inconsistent. It means you are you have received new information and developed greater wisdom, and recognize that something no longer aligns with your future. You are allowed to change your career, goals, boundaries, routines, beliefs, and plans. But as long as what God wants you to do, because some people, they say they are in stagnation. But when you go to prayer, and God will say to you, if you learn to listen to his voice, he will say to you, you are doing something that I have never asked you to do. That's why you feel you are in stagnation. And then after that, if you ask him, what do you want me to do? He will tell you what he wants you to do. Some things may not make sense. There's a woman in our church. She has a PhD and she never got a job. And then she prayed and God said vegetables. Apparently, she's a millionaire. She has a farm selling vegetables. And because God, she started her PhD, she looked for work, she did not look. And then she went to God, and God said, I've never asked you to do PhD. You've never consulted me. And then he said, vegetables. She was like, but I have PhD. Vegetables, me? So she did it. And apparently she's a millionaire. In my church, you hear all the stories when people start consulting God, honestly. Yeah, if you ask him, what am I supposed to be doing? My life is not working. One word, you will say something in one word, or sometimes things may not make sense, but you will say something in one word, and that is your destiny. Go and do it.
Go and do it.
So
Yay.
if you guys are watching Gossip Talk Shows, please do subscribe to our channel and all our social media. Share the video, guys, with your friends and family. And please join the group on Gossip Talk Shows and Unique Billionaire Mindset. I keep repeating this, guys. Both groups are meant to be joined, not Unique Billionaire Mindset only. You can click on Gossip Talk Shows and just press joined. Be part of us, be part of the family. May God bless you. These ladies will see you next week. I shall see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye. Take care.